Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you my review of episode 1 of Batwoman, because I didn't see anything on YouTube reviewing the episode yet. Or rather, I only saw one review, and it's from people who could tell you that they hated the show before they ever saw an episode. Um, just like there were people who said they hated Captain Marvel and predicted it would bomb when it came out, Batwoman has been criticized by people who prefer for every show to have a male target demographic, or who are offended at having a lesbian main character. Batwoman was described as the most high-profile lesbian character in DC Comics when she was introduced in 2006. Note that Batwoman is not the same character as Batgirl. Um, Batgirl in the 1990s show, I know her from the Batman the Animated Series. She's the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, while as this is Kate I forget her last name, where she's the cousin of Bruce Wayne. The pilot episode starts with Batwoman training overseas to become a better fighter. Her goal is to become, uh, tougher and prove she's tough enough for her father to let her join the anti-terrorism or anti-gang or whatever it is task force called the Crows. She returns early from her training because she receives news that her ex girlfriend has been kidnapped by Alice and the Wonderland Gang. When her father refuses to let her help find her ex girlfriend as a crow or whatever because he's being overly protective of her, she goes out on her own and she tries to find and fight Alice and the Wonderland Gang. So at one point, she finds the Batcave while looking for Bruce Wayne's surveillance equipment, and she convinces this guy Luke Fox, who's like the caretaker and security of the Batcave, to remake the bat suit to fit a woman and let her use the gadgets. She then fights Alice and her gang as Batwoman and rescues her ex girlfriend from the Wonderland gang, but Alice gets away. Okay, so that's kind of the synopsis. Um, I just want to say I really enjoyed the show. The only superhero content I'm more excited for this year is the Infinite Crisis crossover, which I guess Batwoman will be a part of. The general vibe I get from the show is that they wanted it to feel like the Dark Knight trilogy, but for women. So Alice feels like a stabby McStabby kind of crazy Heath Ledger kind of Joker, like she feels like a female Joker. Kate, undergoing over the top training to become tougher overseas, feels just like in Batman Begins when he's off training or whatever. It's easy to imagine the entire plot of of this Batwoman episode taking place like while Batman is locked up in a prison, um, by Bane or something like in Dark Knight Rises. It feels like this is the same universe as Dark Knight Rises. Um, but it definitely feels targeted towards women. That feels like the target demographic for sure. Like most of the characters are women, and the male characters are like not even really love interests. So there's like her overprotective father, or Luke Fox, or there's a lot of all the crows are men that I could think of. So but it doesn't feel like there's a superhero guy on the show. It feels like this is a woman show for sure. I have some small criticisms of the first episode, however. For one thing, the show rushes to get Kate into the Batwoman suit and using the gadgets way too quickly. One scene, she finds the Batcave and asks for the suit to be made to fit a woman. The very next scene, she's wearing the suit and using the gadgets effectively. Like, are we supposed to believe her training included using grappling hooks, just like Batman? It comes a bit too quick to be believable. Like like as if they were worried fans would be upset if she wasn't fully Batwoman by the end of the pilot. At least with the arrow, you could say, he learned to shoot arrows at some point during his time trapped on the island, or in the Flash, he gets a pep talk from the team telling him how to use each one of his new techniques. So those come as as the season develops or whatever. But Batwoman, it feels like okay, she they set her up, and then at a certain point when she finds the Batcave, it's like okay, no time skip or anything. She's just Batwoman in the next scene, you know. I also think the choreography could have included more real martial arts moves. For Batwoman to take out larger and physically stronger opponents, I expected to see more skill. But it looks like both the bad guys and the good guys fight in a straightforward, pipe to the head kind of way. I didn't get the impression she was highly trained in hand to hand combat from the way they choreographed the fights. Um, it's like they punch each other in the face, they kick each other in the face, they hit each other with bricks or push each other into walls or choke each other with cables. It didn't feel like I'm seeing the results of training. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, so those are a couple of criticisms I had. But I overall really like the show. I'm really excited for the show. Uh, Most of all for the show, I hope there's a season wide arc with Alice as the main villain because Alice was badass. I want to see other villains too, but Alice is just so badass when she's like flipping her butterfly knife around and looking all crazy and stuff. She's that menacing kind of crazy. Um, I mean, I know people are gonna say female Joker, but it's the Heath Ledger female Joker. She's pretty cool. I didn't read the Batwoman comics, so when they revealed her origin at the end of the episode, it did catch me by surprise. I was like, oh. So I'm really excited to see where the show goes this season. I'm just jazzed for it. It seems like a really good show. I didn't really have any high expectations or hopes for it for before because I didn't really like Supergirl. I just found it a little bit boring and the characters a little unrelatable. Um, and I just didn't dig Supergirl. So I've only seen 5 or 6 episodes of that, but I've seen every episode of The Flash, and I've seen all but like one season of Arrow, and one season and all but one season of Legends of Tomorrow. So I generally like the CW shows. Just Supergirl didn't do it for me, and Batgirl definitely does it for me. Probably be my second favorite show of all the CW shows. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the show. I thought I'd share just so there's something on YouTube talking about the episode, other than people upset about the target demographic aspect of things. If you watched the episode in its entirety, then go ahead and leave a comment or any thoughts you have below. Maybe I'll share my thoughts on the next episode when it comes out. Maybe not. It really depends on whether there's other shows talking about the episodes as they go along. I just felt like there was a huge lack of content for people who are fans of the show. And now that I've seen an episode, I know I'm a fan of the show. So I thought I'd share my thoughts, and I'd rather hear from you guys. So if any of you guys want to make your own show talking about Batwoman or whatever, what you thought of the episodes, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, until next time, next episode or whatever, take care.
And then they play that song, I'm a woman, and it's like just kind of funny at that point.
When did they play that song?
They played it in the trailer. I've seen it a lot of
Oh, the
times. I love
trailer.
the trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I've
trailer?
only seen the trailer once, so I don't think I
Oh,
found
yeah, I
it
know.
in the episode because I didn't see it in the episode.
Oh, shit. We have to go
Oh,
up
we do.
somehow. Do you see where those.
Yeah,
We gotta get.
we gotta get up
Oh, I
somehow.
love the trailer, though. The trailer got me so
Well,
into it because
how many
the
times
intro.
how many times have you
I
seen the
must have
trailer?
seen it over, like, probably over 15
Oh
times.
my God, good God.
I'm a trailer kitty. I wake up to Titans 2 season 2 trailer. you
Yeah.
know. But I only seen it once. I don't watch rewatch episodes. I rewatch trailers. That's what I see a lot.
Who was your favorite character in Batwoman so far? Like, what did you like most?
Let's see. I think I like Batwoman so far.
Right on.
Yours is Alice, huh?
Yes, it is Alice. I like Alice. I think she's
And
badass.
when that one guy was like going kissing her, I was like, oh no, that's what I would have done. But I have learned better since then.
Wait, one guy was kissing. Oh, sticking his dick in crazy. Yeah.
And I'm like,
The
oh,
what is the name of that
that's what
cop?
I would have done.
Uh,
I don't remember now.
they say his name, but he's like, oh, it's like, oh, he's corrupt, but corrupt in the sticking his dick in crazy kind of way, you know.
I know. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I used to do. I was bad because I